What's up, everybody?
My name is Anthony Irvin.
You beat yourself?
Yeah,
okay.
CB myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Jim Green.
Don't even need to hit a fucking traffic light.
Okay, good.
Welcome to
One set.
What's up, everybody?
We were this close this time.
Yeah, man. We got that post Wrestlemania not high for sure.
Yeah, for the first time, it's like, we're going to get into it, but it's just like, there were some good things about Mania this weekend, but, I just felt it was definitely one of those weekends where it was like we expected a lot more from it, being that they were going back into Vegas, and most of it was just a flop. But it's before we get into this, I know we're just want to say everybody, we are obviously live right now, and you are watching the One Set podcast. For those who are watching, my name is Anthony Irvin. I'm here with my buddy and co-host Jim Green. Make sure you guys are in the chat, talking and letting us know what your thoughts about this past weekend's WrestleMania was like for you. What were your favorite matches? What were not your favorite matches? What were your likes, dislikes? We want to hear from you guys because we're going to be discussing WrestleMania and tonight's Raw. I personally think for a first point, Raw hit on a couple cylinders. It started off a little slow, but we got some good content to talk about from that at least kind of made Mania be like, okay, they were saving a couple things for probably tonight to get into the next couple weeks. But, I think there's a road that's going to eventually be, paved out of this. So, what do you think on first thoughts? What are your thoughts on Mania?
Well, what's like wild to me is I feel like I got more substance out of Raw compared to the entire weekend. Albeit, I gotta say, we said the past couple weeks, if Obafemi beats Brock Lesnar, we're good with the rest of the weekend. I'm here to say, I'm glad Obafemi won, but I was like so let down by the length of the matches was like the big thing for me. Like, because I feel like definitely like the competitors in the matches, I feel were like they were doing their job. They were doing they were doing the matches the way that they were laid out to them by the producers. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like so many of the matches were cut so short that like everything felt rushed. And then there were these long gaps in between the matches. Our friend Brandon was like timekeeping, and actually, I don't know if he shared it or if you shared it in the One Set fam group. I was just reading it before we got on here, and like, yeah, I will go through those numbers later.
Shout out to Brandon. I put something else in the group earlier, just saying that and that's what a lot of people are talking about here. We were just mentioning that so many ads, so many commercials, and little wrestling. I feel for the 3-hour show, we got just about over an hour's worth, or an hour and a half at most, of wrestling, and the rest of it was just put on ads and commercials. Like, I've never seen them cut to the commercial break so many times, and I was like, what? And I can understand, after the first hour, because they were doing, switching back from ESPN or ESPN2 and going to the actual subscription version, so they had a little bit of a break there. But it was like almost every couple minutes you're seeing an ad break or a commercial break, and I'm like, it just got too out of hand. It was way too much.
Yeah, well, I mean, the announced matches for the kickoff hour that was on regular cable, for those that don't have the ESPN Unlimited app to be able, like, understand the marketing ploy in doing that. It is a disservice to whoever gets those kickoff matches, because it's like, okay, we got to get these matches squeezed in the first hour. So both the 6-man tag match on night one on Saturday and Brock and Oba, which was a 5-minute match, which, like, okay, I wanted that match to have more meat on the bone, but for what it's worth, if Brock Lesnar has retired and that was his final match, which, like, I just feel like it's not. Like, I feel like Gunther is going to tell Heyman to get Brock Lesnar out of retirement for him to be the career killer and do the SummerSlam thing. And I feel like that's how we're going to get Brock Lesnar wins his final match against Gunther. And he's going to say, yeah, no, I'm going out on my own terms because I'm Brock Lesnar. And
right.
Like once the Oba match happened and, you know, they put all of this buzz around that. And I know we're talking about it now, so we're getting a little bit out of order. But because of that, you know, Brock taking off the gloves, the boots being left in the ring, the time it took for him to go up the ramp, I don't know if they knew he was doing that because they rolled into the commercials. They came back from the commercials and they already had JD, Dragon Lee, and Rusev in the ring. These guys didn't even get WrestleMania entrances, which I saw a lot of other people complaining about. Like, okay, really, we're getting all these ads, and they come back from the ads, and these guys that made it onto the Mania card
already in the ring.
They don't even get Mania entrances. Like, what is that even? And I'm like, I feel like that Brock after, like the stuff with Brock after the match wasn't accounted for. Maybe it wasn't planned. And maybe that's why
they had to cut a little bit of it, probably. But
because they were trying, they had to get that IC ladder match in before 7:00 because it was in the first hour. So
that's the only thing that I can kind of really attest to the fact that, okay, well, if you're having those two first matches, you definitely got to make sure that they're going to be done within that first hour. But didn't expect. I mean, again, I'm okay with Oba and Brock's match being short. I think out of anything, that was what was expected. You weren't going to probably, I mean, if any, I would probably think 10, 15 minutes still would have been fine, other than like what, the 5 or 6, 7, 8 minutes that it was, I think.
It was like 4 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yeah, so
I think I heard.
I think, yeah, it was definitely fast. I mean, again, it delivered, but like you said, I think for the build that they had and just being like right on top of each other, I think they just needed to attack each other more. But, you know, with Oba winning, I'm obviously that's what we wanted, but I think we just wanted it to be more of a dominating match and like have, you know, the back and forth a little bit more. I just thought they were just gonna, you know, that bell rings and they were just gonna start walloping each other, but they kind of just started off slow and then just built it up.
Yeah, which I like. Okay, you think about Brock Lesnar Goldberg, 1 minute and 26 or 29 seconds, and it was Brock picked up Goldberg, put him in the corner. Goldberg pushed him down. Brock like gave him the look. He turned his back to Goldberg. He got up and, you know, got hit with 2 spears and the jackknife, and that was it. Right. I'm happy that it wasn't just, okay, Oba, you know, hits him with a choke slam, puts him up for the fall for grace, power bomb, and that's it. Like, I'm glad that we got the test of strength in the beginning, and they were like selling that a little bit, and they sold, okay, Brock slid out of the ring, Oba reached for him, and then Brock got him out of the ring. We got a little bit of out of the ring action to kind of get, so it wasn't like a total, okay, Brock Lesnar gets squashed by Oba Femi, which like I'm actually glad that it wasn't a 2-minute match. We still got 5 minutes. I'll be grateful for that. Right. I think the Brock Lesnar Goldberg WrestleMania 33 match was like 8 or 9 minutes.
Right.
So this was still shorter than that, which like like if we feel like the match went 10 to 15 minutes, then Oba Femi doesn't look as strong because like Brock held on for longer kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So
You're trying to make Oba feel strong, but then not have it be as long. So you're thinking, okay, if it goes to length, then it's like it's going to take a little bit of acceleration off Oba. So you want to kind of keep it short, but not too long. So it's understandable, but like you were saying as well, like with Brock retiring after, or at least claiming that he is after, it kind of took away from Oba, and the win a little bit. But I think his post reaction obviously put him back on the thing, like, okay, like I'm on to be taken serious, and now he's on to bigger and better things, which we'll get into. But I think out of the whole weekend, and we'll get into obviously more of the matches, I would say that I'm just really disappointed at how short all these matches were. And other than the two main events, we had Cody and Randy going about 23 minutes, and I think CM Punk and Roman, they went about 34 plus, something like that. So I would say the CM Punk and Roman was probably the best overall, because there was no interruptions, nobody coming out. It was just him and Punk, old-fashioned wrestling, telling a story, and that was great. Ladder match we'll get into, probably the most entertaining throughout the night, even though that was short. I would have loved it to be another 5-10 minutes, but again, they were fighting time with that first hour, so they had to kind of get it in. But yeah, they just, at least within that small amount of time, they made sure every minute they had some type of spot going or something to keep your eyes on that TV through that match. So kudos to all those guys working that match and just making it at least somewhat entertaining to be like, okay, this is what a WrestleMania match is supposed to look like.
yeah, so I do feel like if you don't know the product, if you are a kid that has never seen wrestling before, and you happen to catch that ladder match, you are instantly wanting to watch wrestling.
Yep,
like,
absolutely.
That perspective, I totally understand. And like the Brock and Oba match, sure. Like you want to talk about like how everything is like instant gratification in entertainment industry, in like today's society with the way social media is. You have to like really just grab people's attention, get to the point, not a lot of filler or anything. So it just felt like that was kind of the overarching priority of WrestleMania, because they just wanted the matches to be to the point, minus the main events, right? Gunther and Seth Rollins got a decent amount of time. I think that they held off on that being longer. One, they didn't want it to be longer than Cody and Randy. And two, Seth is just coming off the injury, so I don't think they wanted him to go out and have a full-blown 25, 30-minute match, right?
Yeah.
So I thought I would go back and watch Seth and Gunther again. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I would say, that's definitely in the top 3 of mine for the weekend.
It's that the ladder match, and I will be going back to watch Punk and Roman again, albeit I wanted Punk to win just on merit, that I didn't want a part-time champion being around. If Roman is winning, if Roman won, which he did, like for me it was okay, I get it. He's the guy. He has main event in WrestleMania more than anybody. He is the guy.
Yep.
But that to me, it's that match. It's the triple threat that he and Punk and Seth had last year. I loved. And I mean, like the WrestleMania 40 matches, hard not to, but it's like in a category of its own because of the last 5 minutes, right? Like everyone talks about the last 5 minutes of that match with like the fireworks with everybody coming in and stuff.
Yeah.
I do love that this Punk and Roman match was 1-on-1, no outside we were all expecting someone, because that is how these main events in like
We're so used to it at this point.
In the Triple H era, right? Like that is just how they all pan out. Like this feels like the first one at WrestleMania. In fact, I think that it is, right? If you go back to even WrestleMania 39, I don't think that was. I think Vince was still around in that. And when you look at Roman versus Cody, in that you had Solo Sikoa hit Cody Rhodes with the spike before he ate the spear in the 1-2-3 from Roman to finish WrestleMania 39, right?
Yep.
You had 40 with the tag match on night one, and the MCU Infinity War Endgame ending for night 2 with Cody Roman.
Everybody.
And then you had the triple threat with Roman, Seth, and Roman, Seth, and Punk, which had like the Heyman stuff in there, right? It was a triple threat match, no disqualification rules. You had John Cena and Cody Rhodes night 2 last year with the Travis Scott nonsense, right?
Yeah.
And then night 1 this year, you had like the Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll stuff to start, and you had Pat McAfee getting in there at the end, which like I liked that they did have Jelly Roll take out Pat McAfee at the beginning. The stretcher came out, and I texted in the One Set Fam like community group thread that you created, which shout out to everyone who jumped in on that, by the way. That was kind of our like quick group text like for Mania weekend, and it was like we weren't all over in that like the entire time because we were paying attention and watching,
right?
And
figured since we couldn't really go live, we figured we'll just do a small little community chat. So we just kind of added some people from our Facebook group that we know have been engaged with us, so it was cool to kind of have a little bit of a conversation if we weren't actually on a live stream. So it was fun to kind of discuss and see everybody's opinions during the night, so that was a little bit of an extra thrill for us. But it was cool to see everybody's reactions throughout the time on night 1 and night 2. So but it's just I think going at it again, saying that I think the Roman Punk was just great. How they didn't have any interruptions, just straight one-on-one wrestling. Building up to a story, which obviously we were going into it knowing that the story was a little confusing and it was like going back and forth a lot. But at the end of the day, the main event that they put on was spectacular. They just concluded that so well, and I feel it was one of the storylines that didn't really have the greatest build to it, but when it came to the match, they delivered. And where it was like the opposite for Liv and Steph, where they had so much good build going on, but then I feel when it got to the match, it just was so rushed, and before you know it, it was done.
Yeah, so for me it was, wow, that's disappointing that it didn't go longer, but like I feel like that match and even like the Demon and Dom match, that I wanted more meat and potatoes out of that meal.
Absolutely.
I was like, okay, usually like we're used to WrestleMania being like the culmination of these feuds, like, and this is the blow off, and like Becky Lynch, AJ Lee, I thought they had, for the match that I was like really the least excited about, I thought that they had a pretty good match. Like I actually was like, that match could have won another 4 minutes and I would have been all right with it. Like,
right. Yeah, I definitely thought it was cool with their entrances that, we got Philly-based pop punk band Wonder Years doing Becky Lynch's song, who they actually wrote the song for her. So that was cool to see like a Philly-based band up in WrestleMania, and then AJ Lee's entrance is cool. Seeing all the girls doing and skipping down the aisle and everything. So that was pretty cool. And that was another thing. There wasn't many entrances this year that were like memorable to be like, oh, I want to watch that entrance back over again. There wasn't that many. But usually, like when you're at WrestleMania, your entrance it like goes all out.
I just feel like TKO doesn't want to pay for massive entrances. I think they're just being stingy on that front. And I'm like, because I felt the same way. I felt like they were very underwhelming for the most part. And there wasn't really one that I was like super. I mean, I was thrilled for the Demons entrance, but like we've seen it before, but like it's because we rarely get it out.
Right.
I wasn't sitting here like going crazy, losing my mind. I think CM Punk's entrance might have been my favorite, and it was just because of like the way they did it. They had his old AFI theme from his Ring of Honor days. He walked out and it was dead silent, and I was like, is something wrong with the audio?
I came into it and there was no music, and he was walking out. I'm like, did they just mess up his music? And he's like, just go. And he's just going to go out there with no music. I thought like maybe some of the music just got like their audio just went blank or something. And they're just like saying, just go out there. And then he hit it's clobbering time. Then the song came. I'm like, all right, cool. That's a cool little thing you're trying now. Like he just comes out and then he hits it's clobbering time. And then the music hits. So I'm like, all right, cool. Trying something new. That's fine.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be just for Mania, and then he did the same thing tonight on Raw, and I was like, I guess this is going to be it for now, and maybe I'll get used to it. I'm just so used to his music hitting, and then when it goes into, look in my eye, he just comes out, or it's like, once Cult of Personality hits, and then he comes out.
Yeah.
Just different. I'm just not used to it. I thought it was a mistake last night.
I definitely thought so too. That definitely caught me by surprise because, again, just going from downstairs up to the kids, trying to put the kids to bed, and I flipped it on my phone, and I just see Punk just walking out, and everything's black. And I'm like, what happened? I missed something. But
I don't know.
After watching it later on, I'm like, okay, it was they had the video package from his old Ring of Honor stuff, which I missed live, but went back and saw it. So it was cool to, cool homage to CM Punk's career, which was cool.
Trick had his long trail, which I was like,
wedding vow, I didn't notice until they did like the whole big pan out, and it was just the long. Then I'm like, okay, that's cute, but
that's
really
cute. Looked like he just walked out of the bathroom stall and has a long trail of toilet paper dangling off his shoe.
Toilet paper. I don't know who thought of that, if it was Trick or something, but like I just wanted to be in the room to be like, I just want my whole back end to just go throughout the whole ramp. And like, you know what? Do that. It hasn't been done before. see how it goes.
Someone was like, "Oh yeah, that's money," and I'm like, "Really?" I don't know. The Cody entrance was fine. I mean, I was just I
thought the Cody entrance was good. And even Jem was like, she's like, I think Cody's going to win. Every time he wears that skull mask, he has not lost a match. And I'm like, I got to fact check that, but I think
he wore it for the Cena Mania. I think the Cena Mania match last year, he wore it and he lost there. But other than that, we can double check that. But
yeah.
I do got to say his skull masks are always fire. Like, I always love them.
I'll give him that one.
I did love Alexa Bliss's Bray Wyatt tribute, where
that was
the
cool.
upside down butterfly on the back, and she was like the dead butterfly, paying respect to him, and then Charlotte came out, looked like a pinata threw up or something like that. It's fine. Like it worked.
Yeah. And, with the Paige return, we kind of all got spoiled with it, a day or two before, which, again, that's the thing I hate about this era is, everybody's got to, find the biggest news thing and just spill it to everybody. So, like, that could have been the perfect thing to keep a secret and just we all figure and see it that night. Probably would have been that much more excited about it, but we already knew, going into it, she had signed, and because it was on every news outlet. So it's like, okay, once you saw the Bellas come out, and Nikki was on her crutch. Which, please, somebody tell me why she was on a crutch when she was clearly walking the whole night. Like, that was pointless to be coming out in a crutch when you're clearly walking on your foot.
I think the point of the crutch was for her to beat Charlotte with the crutch in the match. Like that's the only reason why the crutch was really there.
Pathetic. But
and for her to walk out with the crutch to make the announcement that she's injured. Like, okay, that's fine.
Right.
I like my only gripe with this, like, yes, very cool to have Paige come back in this moment. Got a great pop out of it for
right.
That was Saturday night one. We talked about this a year ago. The women's tag division was totally dead, and I feel like a lot of the other three teams in this match have been working to try to and those three teams and the Kabuki Warriors and Rhea and Io have really helped make the women's tag division worthy of being on WrestleMania. Only to have the Bellas come in. Nikki is injured. Paige's return kind of overshadows the whole women's tag division. Now the winners of the women's tag match at WrestleMania, it's not a tag team. It's Paige and Brie Bella, right? So
you could see. I think Bailey made a comment about the whole thing because you saw her expression when Paige was coming down. Like, really, it's good that she's back, but like obviously this is just overshadowing everybody, and again it just screws Bailey out of her WrestleMania moment again. Last year was Becky, now this year it's Paige, so she cannot win.
Bailey was on the show this year.
At least she got on the show this year. Yeah,
I will say.
But again, it's not like she didn't have a Mania, but she had her Mania moment at 40. It's just the last 2 years she just had an unlucky roll.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's crazy to me is Bailey is 36 years old and Paige is 33 years old. So like I meant to send this to you and Matt in our group chat, like the ages of somebody posted the ages of the women.
I saw that
from WrestleMania. Yeah. You did see that?
Yeah.
It's just like
it's crazy how she's only 33, Paige.
Yeah, and Rhea is 29. Lyra Valkyria is 29.
Rhea Ripley's 29 years old. Jesus, we are getting old, dude.
Now, I mean, she is like young. She's got a good decade and some change ahead of her. So it's
absolutely. I mean, she's 29. I mean, yeah, she's still got a lot more time.
Long road ahead of her.
I mean, as long as you stay healthy and not injury prone. I mean, as long as she stays considerably healthy. I mean, when you're wrestling, injuries are going to come up, but as long as you don't have a career-defining injury, I mean, she's got still a long road ahead of her.
Becky Lynch and AJ Lee both 39 years old. It's crazy to me. I mean, I just thought AJ Lee was older because she had been around so many years ago. Anyway, just to get off, the matter of how old the women are, like
it's interesting though.
Just it's always interesting to me how old the guys are. Like I'm not like coming after the women here.
Yeah,
just fun fact type stuff. Any rate, I just want to go through match by match in the order. like we don't have to break down everything because I just feel like we're jumping around and we're missing some stuff. 6-man tag match with the Usos and LA Knight against Show Speed and Logan Paul and Theory. It was just super quick. I was expecting more viral moments instead of just the Speed frog splash. That was it was crazy, but
it was great. But definitely thought it was the first match of the weekend, and it just was over way too quick. And I at that first point I was like, wow, that was quick. I mean, they just kind of just got it done really quick. I mean, it's one thing you want to have a good start because again, thinking they are on a time crunch with the first hour being to the public. So but it's like and then you just go into commercials and ads. So half the time you had 2 10-minute matches, so 20 minutes of that first hour was wrestling, and then you're doing commercials and ads and whatever fillers. So it's like you didn't get much out of that first hour, even though for free, but you still only got about 20, 25 minutes worth of matches. So half of it was wrestling, half of it was just commercials and ads.
Yeah, I mean, albeit, the 6-man tag needed to end quickly because the unsanctioned match, you would think would be close to 20 minutes, right? I think it only wound up being like 14. I thought the pacing of the Drew and Jacob match was fine. I will say in the 6-man tag match, I'm glad Logan Paul. Wow. I'm glad LA Knight picked up the victory. For all that we've been saying, like, man, WWE really just craps on LA Knight. Like, I thought he looked good in the short amount of time that they were given. Like, it worked. And then on Raw tonight, they had him do a backstage segment with Gunther saying he's going after the world title. And I was like, okay, are we going to get it this year?
Right.
It can't bank on it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like you got Roman Reigns as the world heavyweight champion now, and you've got Cody Rhodes as the champion, which
for now,
and it's like, okay, Randy Orton's almost definitely getting that belt at some point. Or is CM Punk getting in on Cody Rhodes' business, and then does CM Punk win? Like, so it's kind of curious, like, okay, how do you finesse LA Knight into either of those pictures when you have, like, Obafemi is getting that title at some point, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of heads working into the mainline picture at some point, because like you just naming what you were just saying, you got Oba and Reigns that we're going to be getting. You have LA Knight and Gunther, and there's going to be a potential eventually CM Punk and Cody, which I'm bringing up the fact that Cody comes out, doesn't even do his whoa stick, doesn't do any of that, coming out and looks very
stoic
and just weirded out that he wasn't, even though people are for Cody, but didn't. I think it was because of the fact that obviously they were booing him after the match, so I think that's just laying in on him too. And I was waiting for, obviously I told you, saying like, this is Cody's moment, turn him heel, take him out for Punk, get this match going. But again, they do a little bit of a tease.
Yeah, I think at the very minimal, the nice guy Cody is done. Like, I think that
that was definitely a start tonight for sure.
If they're not gonna full blown turn him heel, I think he's just gonna be in this like basically tweeners phase,
very mellow state,
which allows him to be like slightly aggressive. And I don't know. For me, it's kind of like, oh, are the voices in his head? Is he listening to the voices in his head? Like,
right.
Is this a slow burn start to the heel turn, and then we just turn Randy full-blown face and we get that match with that dynamic, which will be a whole different situation.
I think how we were saying last week that I think they were clearly trying to just get through this Mania and get us to tonight's Raw where, you know, they were able to start fresh, get some new storylines, get some new faces in. So hopefully this is a new start to just be able to wash out whatever happened from this weekend. You know, whoever it was the call to really just be like, okay, go out there for 10 minutes, get this match done. Go out there for 10, 15 minutes, go out, get this done, and get the match done so we can get the Monday night, get these new things going, because everything since from here going up to Mania has just been crap. So we just need to just, we've been pulled in this direction, we've been pulled in that direction. You know, this wrestler's getting injured, that wrestler's getting injured, and it's just screwing up all plans that were supposed to be originally made for WrestleMania. So you had a lot of different things, and it wasn't just even TKO or between TKO and WWE. Didn't hurt that obviously everybody's getting hurt. Then this person has this issue, that person has this issue. So a lot of the original builds got X'd because of those situations. So they were just left with the example of just putting together Gunther and Seth for the fact that we need another match. So we'll just, just put him in the ring. We will figure out the rest of the story after,
For the amount of money that people were paying to get those short of matches, and you only had 6 matches on the card.
I felt
for
so bad
Sunday
for
night.
people. I mean, in a way, I do and don't, because you know what you were paying for. But the fact that they just did all that, like they gave it to those fans and they just only gave them like 10, 15-minute matches is crazy beyond me.
Who's going to pay for tickets to WrestleMania when half of the show is not wrestling? Wrestling. Like, that's crazy to me. I don't know how they're going to sell tickets to WrestleMania next year other than they're supposed to be in Saudi Arabia. That's if they don't pull an audible because of everything that's happening overseas right now.
Yeah,
like,
because who
there's no
in
telling.
their right mind is going over to Saudi Arabia? I don't know.
We've been saying that for so many years though now, and they still go.
They still do it. I mean, you're going to get people that are going to go, but even when they had the Royal Rumble, you didn't really see or really look and see, like, there's not too many American viewers that were there. It was obviously, people from the country, but it's going to be amazing how they're going to think that they're going to get, a lot of people from the U.S. to go over to Saudi Arabia, spend $30,000 on a ticket, plus have to fly, almost 10, 12 hours over, get a hotel over there. And that's going to be insane.
I think I read something a few months ago that like the ticket pricing for the Saudi Arabia WrestleMania isn't going to be as high because they know people are going to have to pay to travel, obviously.
They got to cut something at some point.
Well, the whole thing with having it in Saudi Arabia is Saudi Arabia themselves are paying to have WrestleMania held there.
Yeah.
So the ticket prices don't have to be as expensive because they're already getting a big money bag from Saudi Arabia themselves, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But still, like, it's going to be real weird. I don't know. Like, I kind of hope that they do what they did this year and change it to somewhere else. But
we'll see how it
Saudi
goes.
Arabia, they usually don't go back on.
Yeah, if they're already kind of hell bent on, like, hey, this is what we're gonna pay you to have it here, they ain't gonna let go of that check, depending on how big it is, and I'm sure it's not something cheap. So. That'll be within the next couple of months. We'll be figuring out if that's definitely going to be still an ongoing thing. But let's get back to our cards instead of going out. But
definitely. Drew and Jacob match thought was good, not super great. For an unsanctioned match, I wanted just a little bit more edge to it. Like, I don't know, maybe some blood, but like,
I think that's if you're thinking unsanctioned, you gotta throw some blood. But you were mentioning, and I agree that
It was in the first hour for free, so like they weren't trying to have the
you're
blood
not putting
exposed.
that on the public feed. So, but if you knew you're having that caliber match, you can have that in the hour after that free hour. So then you're getting people in. Then you get like, oh, okay, now we're really seeing the good stuff. It's one thing you're trying to pull that public audience in, but if you're having that type of an aggressive match. That's why I've always said, like, when they say hardcore matches or unsanctioned or street fights, I don't get excited for them anymore, because a street fight, they just still stay in the ring. They get a table out. Hey, Jacob was able to grab a toolbox, which I haven't seen a toolbox come out of the damn ring in a couple years. So I'm like, oh, somebody found it. That was pretty cool. They actually were able to use some, like, tools instead of just putting again, we all love the tables, ladders, and chairs and everything, the typical stuff, and kendo sticks, but
something new and different, some variety doesn't hurt. Like,
exactly.
Sometimes.
Like,
I did not like the wrench twist in the eye thing, because it's not realistic. Like, if you were actually doing any damage with that, his eye would be out of the socket, right?
Yep.
So I was like, that's a little corny to me. Like, I didn't love that spot.
A little bit of trickery, but still, yeah. Make us believe. Make us believe.
Get that eye out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought the match was good, but like I said, I think if you're going to go and say it's an unsanctioned match, it has to be more brutal. It has to be out. It has to get outside of the ring more, and it has to get into gorilla. It has to do this, especially with the Demon and Dom. If you're saying it's a street fight, you got to take it outside of the ring. Get into the stands. Do something. It's not a street fight if it stays inside the ring.
Yep. Already hit on the women's 4-way tag. Already kind of talked about AJ and Becky was better than expected.
Yeah.
But that's the end. That's got to be the end of it for Becky and AJ. They announced Becky's coming back next week. AJ said, like, basically indicated in an interview that she was going to be taking some time off. Totally fine.
Yeah, because she doesn't want to be full time. I mean, she's typically a part timer. So
after Mania, it's fine. Yep.
Yeah, if not coming back after SummerSlam or later in the fall, or if she takes a whole nother year off and then comes back and does something else, cool. But at least we got to see her for the WrestleMania season, which was nice.
Yeah. Talked about Gunther and Seth. We got the return of Braun Breaker. I didn't love, like, the second spear, I guess, when Braun was at the top of the ramp, turned around and ran back. Like, Seth totally bailed out on.
Definitely missed his mark. Again, probably trying to protect himself, which is understandable. But
it's WrestleMania, and you're supposed to make the Braun Breaker return look effective. I thought that what they did on Raw tonight was very good. When I say very good, I mean, like, it's what I expected it to be, right?
Yes.
I think Seth got the back of Breaker's head, and that's why the back of his neck was all busted open. I don't know if you caught that part, but
I didn't catch that part, but I
have to check that out.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I didn't see the blood part on the back of it. I knew, Breaker came out trying to cut his promo. Seth comes out, does the chair, and goes back and forth. But yeah, I didn't see that actual part of it. But I'd say Breaker coming back was the only thing I kind of somewhat marked out for, because we kind of thought we could be getting Braun Breaker coming back at WrestleMania or tonight. We got it obviously WrestleMania, so it's the only thing that I kind of got up out of my seat. I'm like, oh, here we go. But
I thought that I understand that they had to do it in a way where the ref didn't see it to just ring the bell on the match and call for DQ.
Yeah.
But something they didn't figure out how to shoot it right or get the camera angle right, because all of a sudden, like, the camera's panning to Braun sprinting and they caught his back, and I was like, wait, I guess that's Braun Breaker. I was like, okay. I feel that I feel like the presentation of him coming in, they could have just done better.
Yeah.
The few shots, like few camera angles where I was like, somebody's getting fired. I know.
Yeah. The first spear, they definitely messed up on the camera angle for that.
Yeah. And then the second one, Seth just bailed on it. Just the Cody Randy match, like, I think it was just confusing because they had Randy, who was supposed to be working as the heel, was selling the back injury, and Cody was working the match as kind of a heel. Yeah. And then they had to work in, people were cheering for Cody to retain. Like, maybe people were cheering because they expected Randy to win and were surprised. So it's like, okay, good. Like, I know, I think I got 3 out of 7 of my match predictions correct for night one. And I'm not even like bent out of shape that a lot of my predictions were wrong. I'm actually like, oh, wow, like, it's way better. Like, if you predict everything and it's like, I predict, then you predicted everything to pan out the way that you wanted it, like the way that you thought it would. And then it's like, oh, it's that predictable. Like, I was actually kind of glad that things went the other way.
Right.
But
because that's what you want eventually. I mean, you don't want to predict everything 100%, but I think our night 2 was a little bit better than night 1 for sure. But yeah, I mean, if you're predicting everything right down the middle, then what's the excitement of that? I mean, I know some of them we were 50-50, and we're just like, hey, you take one, I'll take one. I mean, one of us is gonna, it's gonna even out eventually.
Yeah, and I mean, we were split on AJ and Becky, and I that's the match I cared about the least. So I was like, oh, Becky retained. Okay, AJ is going to take time off, and Becky's staying in the IC title picture. Fine.
Yeah. Yep.
And then the Oba Brock match, I just felt like they were going to give it to Brock because of like his ties with ESPN, and I thought they were going to make Oba wait to get the big win over Brock, and that when he did, I actually stood up and put my hand on my head and was like, oh my God, they did it. Like, I was just in shock. I was kind of in shock because I was expecting Brock to kick out of one of his finishers instead of, Brock hit Oba with the F5, and he basically got right up from it.
Right back up.
And hit him with the choke slam. And I was like, when I was more so shocked that the match was over. Like, I thought Brock was going to kick out, and he just didn't. And I was like, okay, well, Oba Femi's a made man. Like, he is a superstar. Like, can't even see him anymore. He is gone. Right.
Yep.
And then I think those were the only 2 that we were like legit split on. And then we both had Jade Cargill winning, which we're not on night 2 yet.
Right.
But like, we talked about Oba, we talked about the IC title match. The Trick and Sammy match, Sammy worked as a heel in the match, so to me it feels like they successfully did the double turn, and we got Sammy as a heel, and we have Trick as it just feels like Trick is a baby face at this point.
Yeah. Yep.
And I am glad that they didn't have Sammy retain here, because like that would have just straight up pissed me off. Okay. Like, I think you would have been in the same boat with me there.
Yep, for sure.
Demon beats Dom, enough said. Like,
enough said. I mean,
I wanted more out of that match, but after, like, from what we saw on Raw tonight, it's like, okay, this is continuing. And that's why, like I was saying earlier, like, WrestleMania is supposed to be like the culmination of feuds, and then after WrestleMania, things are supposed to start moving in different directions. It feels like Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan is continuing. So that match being short.
Yep.
After, in hindsight, it's like, okay, that's fine, because we're gonna get a better, longer match at a different time. Obviously, like Finn Balor and Dom, now it's gonna be, oh, but can you beat me as not the Demon? And we're gonna get that. Whatever, because it just feels like Dom's gonna beat regular Finn, and it's like, yeah, no, regular Finn Balor, not the Demon, needs to get some wins here to like feel like he's got like his career in WWE means a damn. Like I just
Yep. And we got Backlash in like 2 or 3 weeks. So on May 9th. So
3 weeks. Okay. Yeah.
You know, we got about a 3-week build until that. So, we probably are most likely going to get a rematch for Finn and Dom, or depending, you might get a triple threat with JD, Dom, and Finn. So he'll take them both out. But again, it's like, okay, you got to do it. Can you do it without without the demon?
Right.
You'll probably get, maybe Cody and Randy again. Trick Williams will probably do something.
Yeah, we might get the triple threat with Carmelo or the Fatal 4-Way with Melo and Ilya in there, which is like, give it to me.
And you could get Penta and Rusev for the IC belt.
It does look like they could go that way, right? And then, but you have Ethan Page, who made his debut on Raw tonight, which I was like, okay,
yeah,
good. Like some new faces on the Raw after Mania. Let's have at
Solar Ruka.
Sol Ruka's on there.
She got some time, which was nice. So
yeah, and we're getting Joe Hendry on Raw next Monday, so it feels like that's the
good.
Joe Hendry call up is happening.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it gets new faces in, and again, like because you got to eventually be setting up for the future, because we have all these superstars like Roman, Randy, Cody, CM Punk that are pushing 40, if not
They're
in
aging
their 40s.
out.
So they got to start. Seeing a post from today saying like they need to start looking at the future, and looking at a lot of these NXT guys to start bringing them in and really start seeing how they're going to adapt, because we only have a couple more years to see a lot of these guys on the main card right now, and it's eventually going to be switched up, and a lot of people on the bottom are going to be coming back up to the top. So you're going to be having people like Braun Breaker and Oba and Trick eventually in a couple years now being at that main card level, and who is going to be up there with them.
Yeah, I mean, these guys have to get established fast.
Yes.
I mean, at the very least, you can build everything around Oba Femi at this point.
You can bet on Oba that he's already got that, and that's going to be easy money for them. It's more of the fact that hopefully Trick and Javon Evans and all those can start getting something so they can be on the same level.
Well, yeah, and you got to get Braun Breaker and Jacob Fatu in that title picture. I mean, Braun Breaker was headed in that direction, and he will certainly be back there. Man, Jacob Fatu coming out to Roman Reigns. I said something to, like, I think I sent it to you last night after Roman won. I was like, could you imagine Jacob Fatu comes out and confronts Roman Reigns tomorrow on Raw? And I was not expecting it. I wasn't like legit expecting it. And then his music hit and I was like, oh, okay. And then the exchange felt a little weird. I didn't love that they just did the cliffhanger like that to end the Raw after Mania. I was like, all right, that's a little lackluster, but like, I get it. Like, it can't always be the Raw after.
It gets you to watch next week too.
That's exactly like where my brain went after. I was like, really? Like, it's supposed to be fireworks, like after the Raw after Mania, like we're all used to it being like mega hype. Yeah. And I feel like Triple H was just like, no, let's slow burn. Let's give
him another week until we start really cooking.
Yeah. Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley was solid. I mean, for me at least, like, because I was expecting Jade to have a good match. Like, when I say expecting, I was pulling for her to have a good match. She had her best WWE match, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, that's what everybody's been saying. At least Jade, really showed out. but I think it was just a little too late.
Yeah, there's that, and I also just kind of felt like maybe they feel like Rhea Ripley had nothing left to do on Monday Night Raw. Like the only thing really for Rhea left to do on Raw is feud with Stephanie Vaquera, and they don't want to do it yet because they know there's a lot of money in that feud. They want to get Stephanie built up a little bit more to make that match with Rhea like a WrestleMania match.
Definitely.
And so I think that there's more legs for Rhea on SmackDown. There's like just a different pool of women for her to work with that she hasn't worked with in a while, other than maybe like tag teaming with Io, but like actually developing one-on-one feuds. I think it's the right move. Also, haven't talked about this. We thought Jade was retaining so that they could do the Bianca feud. Bianca comes out Saturday night and is pregnant. So like,
Yep. So she'll be out for another, at least another year. So,
well, she's quite a little ways along. So it's just a matter of
it looked like she was about 5-6 months along. But
right,
even then,
so
it's
it's
like,
just,
with Jade, like they're okay. Well, I guess we can't do the Bianca feud now. So Rhea, here you go. Take the belt until we can figure that thing out. But then, you have Naomi, who supposedly I think she did have the kid already.
yeah, they did.
Yeah, so she can probably be, if she's ready, she could be making another entrance after SummerSlam. Or if she's just taking the rest of the year off, which I can see that too, and because it's like if they don't have anything for you, why come back? So she can come back in the Rumble next year as well.
I kind of feel like that's too long, but like,
yeah,
because
at
like
the most length, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. It's also like I feel like it's more likely to get Bianca Belair back at the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
If she's 5 or 6 months along now, she could have the baby, I guess, in the next 3 to 4 months. You're talking SummerSlam, and then there's a good 6 months until the Rumble kind of thing.
Yeah.
If she's not back at the Rumble, she could be back at the Chamber. I don't know. Like, it's tough because like Becky went out when she was pregnant during COVID. And then she came back at, I guess it was Mania 41. She was back before that though. Yeah.
She had returned in the Rumble, I think, that year. Because no, was it? Because she faced Bianca Belair.
I feel like Becky Lynch returned at the SummerSlam after WrestleMania 37. That sounds right. That sounds right. Because they were at SummerSlam in Nashville. There were fans. And she made a return, basically like challenged Bianca to a match right there. Manhandle slam, pin 1, 2, 3, boom. And this was after Bianca Belair had just like WrestleMania 37. It was the Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks match that headlined night 1 of WrestleMania 37, which was a really, really good match. And that was like Bianca Belair's coming out party, main eventing WrestleMania with Sasha Banks, beating Sasha Banks. So it was that summer that Becky Lynch came back. Okay, so Becky Lynch was out and back within a year. And I'm trying to remember when Naomi went out. I guess it was like, it must have been right after SummerSlam. Or right before.
Something like that.
Anyway, any rate, we were just saying, because we thought Jade was going on to Bianca Belair. Now that Bianca's
Yep.
out, it's like, just give it to Rhea. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
So we'll see. I do tend to think that the Jade and Michin and BFAB thing sticks, because like why form that group only for it to fall apart? But then again, Jade could just be like, y'all were supposed to be there to support me, and you couldn't even get that done at WrestleMania, and she just like annihilates them, and then maybe Jade goes away for a little bit. I don't know. We'll see.
yeah, we got a backstage segment with Rhea and Liv, so they could do something for like War Games on that aspect. Like if Judgment Day is still around at that point, they can do like they can go back to like Judgment Day, old Judgment Day type things with that, or because obviously her and Liv have a lot of history together with Dom.
Well, they might do a Night of Champions thing where like
that too.
Where like the main, like whenever they have like the main titles, like the WWE World Heavyweight Champions face off against each other, and it's just an exhibition match. Like they used to do that at Survivor Series a lot, right?
Yeah.
So could be something like that. We talked about Punk and Reigns at length, kind of just feeding through the Raw notes here. I think we pretty much hit on everything.
I was very surprised with Oba just, basically saying I am the ruler, and
mic dropping,
mic drops. I mean, I'm like, oh, that's it. I mean, but then again, that kind of just puts it in the vein. He doesn't have to say much. Like, I beat Brock Lesnar. What else do I have to say at this point?
It was very Roman Reigns beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania 33, and he came out the next night and said, "This is my yard now," and walked away. I feel like they were just trying to replicate that, and I was like, it's fine. Also, if they don't have a clear-cut direction for Oba immediately, what's he going to talk about? Like, he's not going to... It's fine. It's all it needed to be.
They'll find his place.
Yeah. Jacob Fatu basically tells Roman, like, I need everything that you have for my family. I need to put my kids in better schools. Basically saying, like, yeah, I went to jail and I need the kind of money that you have. Like, storyline wise, okay. I felt like Jacob's approach looked a little too spazzy. Like, I wanted it to be a little bit more chill. Like, when he did his backstage sit down with Cody Rhodes, like, I liked that. Like, I liked how Jacob handled that. So I just I thought it was a little weird. Like Jacob's delivery in the approach. I like the idea of doing Jacob versus Roman. And I did also like, because I just felt like Roman was going to turn around to the Usos and be like, get this guy. So I do kind of like that they had Roman just be like, take the week to think about what you're really saying here. And then when he got out of the ring, he turned to Jimmy and Jay and was like, can y'all talk some sense into this guy? Like where's he coming from?
Yeah. Typical Roman stuff.
Cliffhanger wise, like, I get it. I just expected, I don't know. It would have been nice for Jacob to just lay into Roman. But again, it's like,
planting the seeds on that for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
so it's like you got Gunther and LA Knight saying some stuff about the World Heavyweight title. You got Oba Femi, which said something in the post show at WrestleMania about going after Roman Reigns. So it's like, okay, he ain't just gonna say that and they're gonna do nothing with it. That's definitely gonna happen.
It's in the running. So
it's just a matter of when.
We definitely have a lot of angles that sparked out from Raw tonight for sure.
Who do you want to see Oba Femi face? Actually, now that he's beaten Brock Lesnar,
outside of Roman Reigns, obviously, if we're getting all these conflicting things like who's going to face Roman, you could get Oba, starting to get in people's way of like, hey, you think you're next in line? I'm next in line. Like, if you can get him and Gunther in the ring together, I would be down for that. If you get, you can get, it would probably be not the most biggest matchup together, but once you get a healthy Bronson Reed, that would be another thing.
Sure.
So, you got a couple guys, but it's a matter of you got to get all these guys coming back. One thing before we continue, I just want to acknowledge this guy in the chat, brother BKL Sports Entertainment Show. Thank you for the comment. Thanks for the shout out, and shout out to you from South Bronx. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here for the One Set podcast.
I was legitimately just reading I have my notes over the comment windows while I'm chatting. So when I wasn't chatting, I was like, let me see if anyone's saying anything in the comment window here. And then I just saw that and I was like, oh, so thank you for the shout out. Appreciate you, brother, from the Bronx. That's wild, dude. I love that.
Yeah.
So I think that's been the only thing with like, okay, you have Obafemi beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. What now? It's like kind of a big problem for them to figure out, because it's like,
how do you keep him relevant when you beat
without him taking the title off of Roman right away?
Too soon. So yeah. And you don't want him to, go to Roman so quickly and lose, and then it just drops all the momentum. So it's almost like they could have probably just had him go out tonight, say his one thing. He's off of television for a couple weeks to just kind of, let that simmer, which might not be the best thing, because if he's on this big high, you want to keep him on television at this point. But if you're trying to get, a lot of these other storylines kicked off, get these things going, and then you can, sprinkle Oba in something or get him somewhere aligned within those storylines, and then he just, wiggles his way into one of them. Like you said, if you have a returning Bronson Reed or something within, the upper card echelon, so that he can start making his way into there, and then he eventually makes his way up to Roman, because Roman's saying was, let's see how you do throughout the summer. So they got to start setting things up for Oba, for Roman to have things to say to Oba later down the road, saying like, well, you beat this guy, you did this, you did that, and then are you worthy of facing me? Are you not? So they got to give Oba some talking points and some credibility going into before they set up this Roman match, if they want to do it by SummerSlam.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm curious what else that there is for Obafemi to do.
I was telling you that, mark my words, by WrestleMania 35, Oba should be a champion. And
45, and I was like, dude, it's got to happen within 45. The year.
But then, they just flipped the script and they just put in the whole Oba thing, saying like, hey, Roman, I'm coming after you. I'm like, okay, they are just on next in line to be like, yeah, we're doing this now.
Yeah.
And, going into the Oba stuff, just a quick mention about Brock Lesnar. Lesnar had to have had a lot of respect for Oba for him to, just put Oba over and do the passing of the torch for it, because, Brock doesn't really get along with a lot of people, might say the least about it. And, you got to probably give the fact that he has, some respect for Oba, to be like, he's worthy of, passing the torch because of my, beast persona. This is the next beast. So he's, just showing that, this is the next big thing. So, you got to give a good amount of credibility to Brock to be, giving that moment to Oba for him to shine.
Yeah, like the reports are, he handpicked Obafemi to be the one to pass the torch to and be like, I can retire because he's next.
Yeah,
he is the next big thing.
Right, and you can just tell after the match, like he was just giving Heyman like, I'm done. You know, said
He's like, I'm
yep,
good.
I'm good. Yep, I'm done. And so that's, and again, it could be quotes like he's just done. That could have just obviously meaning that he's done. This is my last Mania, and we could just get him, appearing. Maybe he just doesn't even have a SummerSlam match, but he will be there and he has a segment or something, or is involved in something. But to say that he's retired, he's Brock Lesnar. He can do what he wants. I mean, it's not the first time a wrestler is retired, but then came out of retirement to do something.
Yeah, I mean, if they go the like Gunther and Roman Reigns feud into the middle of the summer, and you have Gunther going after Heyman for the favor, and you have Gunther basically start like dogging on Brock Lesnar in a way, you could have Brock Lesnar basically come back and take out Gunther in the Roman match to basically like get Gunther out of the Roman feud and then just set up the Gunther and Brock match. If Gunther Brock doesn't happen, I'll be fine because I actually would be very happy with it just being like, okay, Brock's last match, like he passed the torch to Obafemi, just leave it right there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't need to see, like, for all of these years of like, we got to see Brock Lesnar and Gunther. Like, that's the match we all want to see. I don't care anymore because we got the Obafemi match and Obafemi won over him at Mania, and I'm just like, I'm good. Just let Gunther, yeah, let Gunther do something else. We don't need Gunther to retire Brock Lesnar.
No, not at this point.
I do think Brock Lesnar could retire Randy Orton, but not for like another year, unless if Randy's back problems really are that bad and Randy's just like, I think I'm banged up and I'm done. Then okay, let's do the thing. Randy can get number 15. I don't think there's anything left for him to do after that.
No, not at all.
He's not getting 16
bit of a run and go.
Unless they want him to tie Ric Flair and let him get 16 and just be right behind Cena.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I know John Cena's like, I want to shake the man's hand who wins 18 world titles. I don't think that man's going to be Roman Reigns. I think that man can be Obafemi. Like,
it very well can be.
It totally could be.
Yeah.
I do think, Obafemi and Braun Breaker is a match that we want to see in a couple years 100%. From now. 100%. That's going to be amazing.
Blockbuster series for sure. Yeah.
I know we've been saying, Braun Breaker and Jacob Fatu. I think Jacob Fatu is a little bit older though. I think he's in his mid to upper 30s.
Yeah. I think so. But then again, I'm horrible with age. So
I Cheyenne just looked up and I think Jacob Fatu's in his mid 30s, but Braun Breaker's in his like, I think he's like 24 or 26, something
that
crazy like that.
Yeah, it's dude's built like a brick house. He's like, dude's like not even 30 yet. It's insane.
Okay, but how old is Obafemi?
I'm gonna say he's under 30.
Yeah, so he actually turns 28 years old on April 22nd, which is
Wednesday.
Technically tomorrow.
Technically tomorrow, yeah. So happy early birthday to Oba.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's got 20 years ahead of him, and he's just beaten Brock Lesnar. Like, it's...
Yeah. like just getting into the main card, and your first match, like
At
legit
WrestleMania.
match at Mania is beating Brock Lesnar. Come on now.
Come on now, this guy.
What?
Like,
How much more of a picture can you paint there?
they literally have him to build the entire roster around. But, I mean, that's kind of how they booked Brock Lesnar in the last 20 years. Is like, okay, like who could legitimately beat this guy? Who do we want to beat this guy? How do we make it make sense? And how do we do it in a way where Brock doesn't look weak? Because I mean, I can't think of one time where they made Brock look cheesy. Like, because he basically outright said, "I'm not doing that." He's like, "Do you see this right here?"
Yeah.
Anth, brother, anything else? I know we kind of jumped in and out and talked a little bit about where we thought things might be going. I do got to say, like, I'm glad that we aren't like, ooh, are we getting The Rock and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 43 next year? It's like,
I'm not even ready to talk about that yet. I mean,
it's
I'm
like,
still
if it
processing
happens-
this weekend, and if anything, if we're getting manias like this from now on, it's gonna be insane. Like you said over the weekend, like there's no point of even worrying about the builds anymore. Just watch the small little promo packages they give you right before it, and that explains everything. Because if they're not going to put their worth into building a lot of the things, they're just going to be like, just get us to the main show, then it's insane. And the fact that they're putting more of their money into ads and commercials than putting it into pyro and actual entertainment, it's beyond me. But hopefully this was just a swing of like, we didn't hit our marks. A lot of our wrestlers were, injured. So this is us just getting us through this weekend and, starting anew.
Getting it over with. Yeah.
Getting it over with. Because we definitely saw a lot of good things tonight out of, the new NXT people, starting some new feuds, which I'm, pretty excited about. Obviously, Jacob Fatu is, he wants a match with Roman, Going through eventually wants a match with Roman. Oba definitely is, on call for that one. We're going to be eventually getting Seth and Braun Breaker. Obviously, Liv and Steph Valkyrie, they're still going. Finn is still working his way through the Judgment Day. So we have some continuations. We have some new things popping off. Not trying to say that I'm...
The Street Profits are back tonight.
Oh, we almost forgot about that. Yes, that was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I texted you like, yo, because I was like, yo, Montez has to make that daddy money.
Yeah, getting that zaddy money. Dude got jacked too. So yeah, I'm stoked. I'm stoked to see,
they finally have the Street
Seth.
Profits back on TV. And I'm like, let's go.
Yep.
Like,
so hopefully they get the tag belts back hopefully soon.
It is now or never with either the Profits as a tag team or Montez Ford on a
giving
singles
him
run.
a solo career. Yes.
Finally. Like, it's now or never.
They have to pay that off if they're gonna do the tag team thing. Just strap a rocket on them and go, or if they're just trying to eventually put this into giving Montez Ford his solo push, do it.
Have at it, because I'll
be there for it. Yep.
Give us Montez Ford versus give us Montez Ford versus Trick Williams. Like, I want to see the match. I want to see that match. Although I would have a hard time picking who is winning and who is losing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean,
so at least tonight gave us a little bit of hope that they're putting some new things in place, and hopefully, this gives us new light to getting some new fresh stories. So let's just hopefully marinate in this for another week or two until we can really start saying what's to come. Because
I really feel like currently the 76ers are in the NBA playoff picture, and they are playing the Boston Celtics.
Which they got walloped on Sunday, which I was not surprised because it's hard for us to beat Boston. But, hey, the Flyers won. Flyers are doing amazing things. Hopefully they do great things. Phillies,
tank. They're
Yeah.
tanking so bad right now. And it's like I'm like, for the beginning of the season, for things to be worse than where they left off at the end of last season, I'm like, I'll start really paying attention when you get it together, because I'm right now, I don't care. I don't have time for it. Call me a terrible Philly sports fan.
yeah. And then we got
but-
the NFL draft coming soon in about a week or two. So
I think
we'll
it starts
be getting-
Thursday.
Thursday? That is true, yeah. So so we got the NFL draft coming this week. So there's a lot of extra sports coming our way. I'm not looking too forward to, the Sixers really getting through Boston unless, they turn it up in Philly, but Boston has always been a hard team for them, and we still don't have a full round team to beat Boston.
I only bring it up because I feel like last year's WrestleMania, there was a lot left to be desired. This year, oh man.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like us talking about the build to next year's WrestleMania, like, we're definitely going to have our guards up. If for some reason WrestleMania 43 is like the best WrestleMania we've seen in a long time, then they will give us hope, like, okay, they are doing something that really makes us feel like they put a lot of thought into this, and like everything is really captive. Like, just overall 2 thumbs down for WrestleMania 42. I mean, the saving graces were Obafemi beats Brock Lesnar, that IC title match, the IC ladder match, and Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. Is when I heard people saying Roman Reigns versus CM Punk is a dream match, I was very like, I mean, I'm not dying to see it like that. So I feel like what I watched was like, okay, this feels like a WrestleMania main event match, and it is awesome. Really good stuff. Obviously, we have Punk winning for the sake of having a champion on TV each week.
Mm-hmm.
If Reigns is going to be around for the most part, it'll be fine. And it'll be good, because whoever beats Roman for the title, it will feel more important than someone beating CM Punk for the title.
Yeah.
So I get it from that perspective. Other than that, WrestleMania 42
in the books.
And
another Road to WrestleMania series in the books. Final thoughts, bro. Without really thinking too much, grade this WrestleMania with a letter grade. What do you think?
I mean, it's like a C- to a D+. And like, when I say, because like I've seen people say, okay, great, like, rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. A lot of people saying 6 for night 1, 7 for night 2. I feel pretty good about that. Because that feel, I mean, if you're talking about a grading system where like an 80 to a 90 is a B, a 70 to a 60, or 80 to 90 would be a B, a 70 to an 80 would be a C, a 60 to a 70 would be a D. Yeah. So
sounds about right.
I mean, I can't. The only reason why I wouldn't say it was an epic fail is like, I feel like for the most part, the performers did their job. I just feel like the matches were so short, and I don't think that's their fault. I can't blame the performers.
They just go out there and do what they're told. They it's not like they can just be like, oh, you said 10 minutes, I'm gonna go 15. I mean,
Right.
they don't really have that authority. So yeah, they only were doing what they were told, and they just go out there and perform. So yeah, on an entertainment and like wrestling standpoint, I think everything was fine. It's just, dealing with short matches and, lots of ads and commercials. Just when you're thinking of a wrestling show that's going to be at like 3.5 hours, you would like to see about 2.5 hours worth of wrestling out of that, and we only got like an hour and a half. So they definitely got to fix that formula going into other pay-per-views and stuff. So if I were to I would probably say it around the same grade of like a C or a D to out of the whole weekend. You can probably give a little bit of a higher grade to night 2 than night 1, but still, like if you're giving it a B, that would be
A
pushing
stretch.
it.
I mean, a B minus for night 2 itself.
I was gonna say a
Is
B minus
fine.
for 2. I would accept that just because I think Roman and Punk saved that whole weekend.
And you had Oba and Brock, and you had that IC title match.
Yeah,
And
you got your fixes from Oba. You
you
got
had
your
Trick
match
Williams
of the
win.
weekend. You
you
had
had Trick
the
Williams win. You had the
Yep.
Demon. You had Rhea Ripley win. Like,
the ladder match. So you had your moments where you're like, okay, I got little fixes here and there. But as a whole, throughout, like it was just like cluster. But yeah,
I will
without
say
repeating stuff.
John Cena as a host was a complete waste. It was just
Yeah,
try to pump up the ticket sales and say, oh,
Yeah.
John Cena's going to be there.
and just getting more people to view it. I mean,
Come out, welcome to WrestleMania. Come out, announce the
the
attendance. Have the little Danhausen segment, which, like, okay,
You
it
knew
was
you were going to
funny.
get something. It's
Sure.
entertainment, but yeah,
Other-
and it's for the kids.
Zero
the
backstage
kids.
segments like zero backstage segments with Cena. So, like,
Yep,
waste.
right. Definitely waste. But yeah, guys. Again, our Road to WrestleMania series concludes with this episode, and we are going to be doing more wrestling talk for you guys. Let us know what you guys want. We'll be, reviewing Raw and SmackDown like we have been, but also let us know what else you guys would want us to be reviewing. We usually also do, little watch-alongs of our favorite matches. If you guys would like to see more watch-alongs, we do have a Patreon, so we can, get you guys to, do some private watch-alongs or just, select the watch-alongs on our different channels. If we want to break down top 10s or certain things, give us some ideas. Let us know in the comments, or you can email us at onesetpod at Gmail. You can also hit us up on our socials, everywhere at OneSetPod, on Facebook, Instagram, right here on YouTube, and TikTok. Shout out to all our TikTok and all our subscribers and followers. We love you guys. Thank you for all the support. And Jim, let everybody know after your drinky poo.
My throat is
Stumbled on
so
the
dry.
wrong-
I'm sorry.
All good. Let everybody know where they can hang out with us outside of our episodes.
That is the Facebook group One Set Fam Housing. That is, again, on Facebook, it is the number One Set Fam, FAM. Come hang out with us. It is our community interaction board where we just basically any day and every day talk wrestling with anybody
Yes.
who wants to get into it. Any and all
Shouts out
things
to all our
wrestling.
One Set fam. Thank you all. We love you guys.
All the love to you. Until next time. Love you, brother.
Peace. Love you too. It's been One Set.